Good morning, everyone. I'm Nobuemita, Special Assistant to the Chairman of BGA. Nice to meet you all. I'm very glad to host the fourth Abe Initiative, Government 24/7 AI and Finance Platform. Today, I'm deeply honored to welcome such distinguished speakers including Minister Minoru Kiuchi, Ambassador Kano from UNESCO, Yutaka Matsuo from Tokyo University, Kazuo Yano from Hitachi Institute, Audrey Tang, former Digital Minister of Taiwan, and Joris Port, Riscale CEO, Alex Pentland, MIT AI Digital Authority. He's a professor. Moreno Elida です。She's a former French minister. Nakayama, Yasuhide Nakayama, the representative of BGF Japan and Taiwan, former Vice Minister of Defense. Nobukatsu Kanehara, Sasakawa Peace Foundation. Tsukasa Jonen, and other great people. And Soichi Chiba will serve as the moderator. And BGF CEO Chuan Wan has traveled from Boston to join us here in Tokyo. Michael Dukakis give us a message. This year, we explore how AI and financial platforms can enhance governance and public services. AI may replace most jobs, risking a decline in happiness, contradicting its purpose. We must advocate for its responsible use to enhance, not diminish well-being. I hope today's conference will be a fruitful one. Thank you very much.
Okay. Great.
Michael Dukakis.
Yes. So my name is Soichiro Chiba. It is an honor of moderating today's session. I'm a founder and chairman of a company called Basilleaf, and it is truly an honor meeting you all today. So next we will hear the opening remarks from Mr. Dukakis, the former governor of Massachusetts and co-founder, co-chair of Boston Global Forum. Mr. Michael Dukakis, the floor is yours.
Okay. So good morning. My name is Yasuhide Nakayama. I'm a representative of Boston Global Forum, Japan and Taiwan. On behalf of Michael Dukakis, I'm saying his message. Good morning, distinguished guests, friends, and colleagues. It is an honor to address you today at the fourth Shinzo Abe conference. I regret that I cannot join you in person in Tokyo, but I am with you in spirit, and I am delighted that Nguyen Antoine, co-chair and CEO of the Boston Global Forum, is there to represent us and engage with you directly. I'd also like to extend a warm greetings to Minoru Kiuchi, Japan's Minister of State for Science and Technology Policy, who joins us as a distinguished speaker today. Your leadership in advancing science and technology is vital to the conversations we are having here, and we are grateful for your presence. We gather today to celebrate the legacy of a truly remarkable leader, Shinzo Abe. Prime Minister Abe was not only a visionary statesman, but also a great friend of the Boston Global Forum. His dedication to peace, security, and global cooperation earned him the prestigious World Leader for Peace and Security Award, an honor that reflects his extraordinary contributions to making our world a better place. His leadership continues to inspire us, and this conference stands as a testament to his enduring impact. Today, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment. The world is changing rapidly, driven by the transformative power of artificial intelligence. This revolution touches every aspect of our lives: how we work, how we connect, how we govern. With such profound change comes a critical responsibility for governments to adapt, to reform, and to reimagine how we serve our citizens. Our mission is clear: to harness these advancements to make our people happier, our societies more peaceful, and our world safer. This is not just an opportunity, it is an urgent necessity. At this very important moment, we must commit to building a better world together. One promising solution lies in the concept of the AI World Society Government 247, an innovative framework that leverages AI to enhance governance, ensuring it is responsible, transparent, and accessible around the clock. This vision aligns with the values Shinzo Abe championed: progress, stability, and deep commitment to the well-being of all. I invite you, leaders, thinkers, and innovators, to join us in building AIWS Government 247, a model for the future that can reshape how we lead and serve. While I cannot be with you in Tokyo, I am thrilled that Nguyen Antoine will carry this message forward. His presence at this conference highlights a significant trip to Japan, which began on March 24th, 2025, during which he has engaged with government leaders, business visionaries, distinguished scholars, and outstanding students, as well as participated in key political events. The mission of his trip to advance the AIWS and Shinzo Abe initiative, fostering deeper connections between Japan and the United States, and amplifying Japan's vital role on the global stage through the AIWS Government 247 initiative. Let us seize this moment to honor Shinzo Abe's legacy, not just with words, but with action. Together, we can forge a future that reflects his vision: a world of peace, security, and shared prosperity. I am confident that with your leadership and collaboration, including the insights of Minister Kiuchi and so many others here, we will succeed. Thank you for your dedication, your ideas, and your partnership. Let us move forward with purpose and unity to create the future our citizens deserve. And also, I'd like to add, as a representative of DGF in Japan and Taiwan, I'd like to share our upcoming plans. In the summer of 2025 this year, we are planning to hold a meeting in Awaji Island and another one in Ishikawa Prefecture in the spring of the following years. Further details will be shared as they are finalized. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Nakayama-san, for speaking on behalf of the Governor Dukakis.
Thank you.
Certainly, we're excited for the next meeting of Awaji and Ishikawa, so stay tuned. Next, we will have the co-chair and CEO of Boston Global Forum, Mr. Nguyen Tuan. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. And Governor Michael Dukakis said many things already. So also, I have three remarks. I write official remark to send you already. So I only present some key message. I don't read again my remark. So, but this remark print version will be official publication for our conference. But today, the first, I'm very honored to be here with you. This is the fourth Shinzo Abe conference. Yeah, and every time I came to Japan in this cherry blossom and make me very high spirit and very that is a deep heart here. And also we think about the US and Japan and think about Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. And we do very much. And now we are very, very delighted to see our initiative AI Society realized from 2017. Now that is the same every aspect, and today is a very important conference to continue to discuss with AIWS. And one of the very important component, vital component, is AIWS government 24/7. We official published report and paper about model about our initiative for 24 hours and 7 days a week, serve people, for people, by people in from Boston Global Forum Initiative. And we also announced in at conference 24 of November 2024, when we honor President Macron as a World Leader for Peace and Security Award. Last year, 2015, we honor Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, and last year we honor President Macron. And also we present and discuss at AI Action Summit. You can hear about last month in Paris, big event, historical event in AI, that is AI Action Summit, hosted by President Macron. And Boston Global Forum, we are very honored to have a section there, and we present and discuss about AIWS government 24/7. And also, this is a key part for special gift to present President Macron and people of France to leapfrog France in AI. President Macron want to develop AI to catch up with a very important country as US, as China, something like that. And also, I think today, Shinzo will continue lead with us, stay with us today to discuss and realize AIWS government 24/7, because Shinzo is a great leader and innovative leader. Think about reform, make government more effective, and make Japan very strong when he was a prime minister. And I think this initiative, we think about Shinzo Abe. When I and our college in Harvard and MIT at Sandy Penland, when we developed this initiative, we think very much about our leader and Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. And today we continue discuss and make Shinzo Abe's spirit alive, and he alive, and he's still here and today sit with us today. And I think this initiative is will make Japan very good for future to deserve with ability, with position, with potential, and with everything Japan deserve to have an honor place in the world with this. And also key part is today, that is the AI and financial frame, because as you know, finance is very important. And we discuss very much about fintech. We see already many solutions, technical solutions, but we need one framework for management, for governance, for better financial system, ecosystem in the world. And we think about Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, and Prime Minister Shinzo Abe can lead us, continue to discuss and make Japan leading and pioneering in this very important. Tokyo is a very important financial center of the world, and now we hope Japan have a very important role with it, and we will have a Tokyo Accord AI and finance firm platforms for government 24/7. And also we will discuss, as Nakayama will present later in this conference, about Abe financial AI protocol. Yeah. So with my heart to Shinzo Abe, to Japan, and today we hope our brand, our work, very meaningful and become historical conference. And we will bring our outcome and result today to Harvard Conference 22 of April at Low House, very honored place. And we hope all of us continue discuss and build a new financial system. We will name that the Boston finance framework for governance 24/7. That means Tokyo and Boston together, and we will shape a better future and inspired by Shinzo Abe spirit. Thank you so much. I'm very honored to work with you today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your remarkable opening speech. I think a lot of people recognize the potential of AI, including former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and President Macron from France. Next, we will have a keynote speech from the Minister of State and Science and Technology Policy of Japan, Mr. Kyuchi. Mr. Kyuchi, the floor is yours.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Minoru Kyuchi, the Minister responsible for Science, Technology and Innovation Policy, including AI policy. I would like to express my sincere gratitude for the invitation to address you today. Prime Minister Abe was mentored to me, and I had the privilege of serving as State Minister for Foreign Affairs and State Minister for the Environment during his administration. Beyond these roles, I worked under his direct leadership on policies and projects, particularly in the areas of security and fiscal policy, which were foundational for our country. Prime Minister Abe was one of the statesmen and leaders I most respected. It is therefore a great privilege to speak at this distinguished conference that bears his name. Allow me now to turn to today's topic. As you are aware, generative AI has captured global attention, raising important questions about its role in security. How should we integrate AI into our daily lives? How can we harness its potential to create new value? And how can we ensure sustainable development in collaboration with AI? Today, I would like to share insights into Japan's approach to AI policy, how the Japanese government has navigated its AI strategy thus far, our aspirations for the future, and our current position in this rapidly evolving field. Since the autumn of 2022, generative AI has undergone remarkable advances, significantly enhancing efficiency and convenience across various industries, including finance as well as in everyday life. Looking ahead as Japan continues to face demographic challenges such as a declining birth rate and an aging population, AI is expected to play a crucial role in addressing labor shortage, particularly in rural areas and sectors such as services and manufacturing. Moreover, AI is anticipated to contribute to solving a wide range of societal challenges. At the same time, concerns are growing over the risks associated with AI. These include the increasing sophistication of crime, such as the use of fraudulent websites and synthetic voices for scams, the spread of of misinformation and disinformation, leading to social disruption, and the potential misuse of AI in cyber attacks or weapon development, posing national security threats. In Japan, we have already witnessed incidents involving generative AI being used to create computer viruses. In the financial sector, which is the focus of today's discussions, there is a great interest in the emergence of new business models that combine the advanced expertise of financial institutions with AI technologies such as large language models to provide financial intelligence. However, as these innovations develop, it is essential to carefully consider how to manage and protect personal and sensitive information. Addressing these risks appropriately while fostering innovation is of utmost importance. Even before the emergence of generative AI, the Japanese government was ahead of the world in its discussions of AI-related policies. While AI offers immense benefits to society, its far-reaching impact necessitates responsible respect, development, and implementation. To harness AI effectively while proactively mitigating its potential risks, we recognized the need to redesign various aspects of society, including human interaction, social systems, industrial structures, innovation ecosystems, and governance, so that AI can be utilized both safely and effectively. Based on this vision, in 2019, Japan formulated the Principles for Human-Centric AI Society. This set of principles serves as a fundamental framework to ensure that AI is widely accepted and utilized by society as a whole and sparked international discussions on AI governance. For example, these principles contributed to the adoption of the OECD AI principles in 2019 and later influenced the Hiroshima AI process, which was initiated during the G7 Hiroshima Summit in May 2023. In addition to leading the establishment of international norms for AI governance, the Japanese government has been moving its domestic AI policies forward more rapidly since 2023, further strengthening its commitment to shaping the future of AI in a responsible and forward-thinking manner. Specifically, in May 2023, we established the AI Strategic Council, chaired by Professor Yutaka Matsuo, who is with us here today. This council was tasked with examining AI-related risks in light of the rapid emergence of generative AI. Our fundamental approach has been to ensure that AI developers, service providers, and users themselves assesses risks, adhere to existing laws and guidelines, and exercise governance functions. The guiding principle behind our policy is to create a framework that mitigates risks through regulatory safeguards without stifling innovation, thereby fostering further advancements in the field. At the same time, given the rapid progress of AI technology, numerous potential risks remain. In Japan, we have observed that many citizens feel apprehensive about AI, which has in turn led to delays in its development and adoption. To drive innovation forward, it is essential to first address these concerns. In response to this challenge, under the leadership of Professor Matsuo, discussions has been conducted on Japan's unique approach to AI legal system. As a result, on February the 4th, this year, a comprehensive set of policy recommendations outlining specific policy and strategic directions was compiled. Based on these recommendations, at the end of February, we drafted and submitted Japan's first ever AI bill to the National Diet. The primary objective of Japan's AI bill is to strike a balance between fostering innovation and addressing associated risks. While AI involves a wide range of stakeholders, from businesses to individuals, the most critical aspect is ensuring the integrity of AI research, development, and utilization, thereby alleviating public concerns. This, in turn, will facilitate further advancements in AI and drive innovation. The legislation sets out several key provisions, including first, strengthening the government's AI policy leadership board by establishing the AI strategic headquarters chaired by the Prime Minister and comprising all cabinet ministers. Second, formulating the AI basic plan, which will outline Japan's fundamental policy directions for enhancing AI research and development capabilities, promoting its use and advancing AI-related initiatives. Third, establishing government-led AI guidelines in line with the Hiroshima AI process to ensure the responsible and ethical use of AI. Fourth, empowering the government to gather information, conduct analysis, and investigate cases where AI infringes upon individual rights and interests. Once enacted, this legislation will provide a legal framework for the government to develop internationally appropriate guidelines, encouraging all AI stakeholders to adopt voluntary best practices, while also ensuring proper oversight of emerging risks and addressing malicious cases. Through these measures, we aim to realize a safe, secure, and trustworthy development and application of AI, ultimately fostering further innovation. Different countries have diverse cultural perspectives on AI, leading to a wide range of approaches to AI governance. In this context, Japan has chosen not to impose broad rigid regulations through comprehensive hard law. Instead, to swiftly and flexibly address potential risks while fostering innovation, Japan's approach is based on existing laws and soft law measures such as guidelines. This encourages businesses to take voluntary initiatives while the government monitors developments and provides guidance or recommendation when necessary. I believe that the ultimate goal of AI policy is to drive innovation, solve societal challenges, and strengthen international competitiveness. In this regard, Japan's AI bill is a well-balanced legal framework that ensures the development of safe, secure, and trustworthy AI without stifling innovation. We will continue to explain and promote this new framework to the world. Japan aims to become the most AI-friendly country for research, development, and utilization. With this goal in mind, we will remain committed to advancing our AI initiative. Due to inescapable parliamentary commitments, I am unfortunately unable to attend. However, I am sure that today's event will be a great success. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kyuchi, for providing us a very comprehensive speech of AI. Okay, so next we will hear from the world experts of AI. The first speaker is Mr. Yano. He's an AI expert, renowned AI expert in Hitachi Limited. He will speak about leveraging AI platforms for government 24/7. So, Mr. Yano, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Do you? Okay. My name is Kazuo Yano. I'm working for Hitachi for 41 years, and I've been working on AI about 20 years. And I will show how I look at the AI as a context of this making government better. So yes, this generative AI has attracted much attention, but many of the efforts right now is as a topic. So I think our current corporate and social society systems are built on the assumption that Gen AI did not exist. But something we should ask now is if we were to reset everything and redesign from scratch with Gen AI as a given, would we recreate the same system? And the government is not exception. And today we have the potential that everyone 24/7 always has access to a highly capable brain advisory discussion partner. So the people who has strong influence on society, business executives, and government people should utilize AI as a brain. But if you, for example, a very simple question, for example, if I will report to my superior on our strategy to expand orders, I'm anxious about it. And two, ChatGPT, the answer is quite generic and not inspiring. But this has a reason that LLM is directed to avoid bias. That makes that result. But bias is always bad. You know, Mr. Trump, yes. I'm attracted by him very well, but he's very biased. That's his attraction. Yeah. So bias is not something we completely, avoid. That's the attraction and personality and strengths. So we utilize it. So I introduced that for AI with interpretability that we call version. For the first efforts, we made myself version, that's the individual editing capability on LLM. And we held a debut event last year and was much attention. And many companies has asked us to make our president or CEOs version so AI. And actually, one example is our big retailer in Japan, Nojima. The president Nojima's version for all the managers, 2,000 people, asked 24/7 to the position of the CEO, Nojima-san. So AI brain for governments. Government issue has very complex, very uncertain, and very not generic, very nation specific. I believe this is very suitable for Gen AI. Gen AI has very much data and knowledge, not comparable to human. And actually, it is very difficult to find something that Gen AI doesn't know. But the wisdom, how it is wide, or he is wide, or she is wide, wisdom is very different from knowledgeable. And actually, in the last 20, 30 years of research has revealed the wisdom and wiseness is not from our individual brain, but collective phenomena. Very diverse people networked just like this will create creativity and good ideas and to overcome the difficulties. So something we target is some upper right corner, not just knowledge, not just wisdom, both. So to make that happen, actually we have worked hard in the last 2-3 years at the AI for leaders, which we call Agora. And I'd like to show our demo. Very good. Because this time is limited, I don't explain much, but I discuss how Gen AI should be utilized to create better governments and answer in English. And actually, I chose 3 experts, Miss Universal, Super Prime Minister, and Shu Yamaguchi is a very knowledgeable and influential person in Japan. And now, the Agora is considering and chose 3, and the Agora is introducing 3, experts right now. And I would not explain, but watch. But the letter is a little bit small, and the time is limited. So, but if you look at the discussion of these 3 distinguished virtual experts, the discussion is very, very high level and continues even 24 hours. Make it wider and having good options and deepen, and that will continue almost endlessly. And Super Prime Minister now, on this, the government needs both bottom up and top down. Both approaches is needed here. But anyway, so I don't have much time. This kind of AI will improve quality of societal decision making. Conventionally, we humans have a limitation constraint by past experiences and obsessed with short-time success, too influenced by authority and aimed at protecting one's position. The AI doesn't have all these. New decision-making with AI should explore diverse perspectives, consider mid and long-term, and free from influence of authority and no position-based thinking. So we have a very much opportunity, especially for decision maker and the governors and the CEOs who have a strong influence on the future of our society, and AI will complement our capability to find good solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Yano, for your excellent presentation. It was very interesting, leveraging AI and making them to help decision-making for governments. So next, we will hear from the CEO of Rescale, George Port. Rescale is #1 AI company in the United States in a new category called Physics AI. He's also a very good friend of mine and a renowned entrepreneur. So, Doris, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share some of my thoughts, and really appreciate the conference theme and the organizers to sort of extend maybe the previous presentation and some of the theme of the conference. For continued peace, security, and shared prosperity, I believe we should continue to invest aggressively in new capabilities around AI that can help us accelerate the progress of innovation. Primarily, I believe this because our future shared prosperity as a society, most major challenges that we have the potential to be solved through advances by engineering, science, and the acceleration of the work that we do in all these different fields. AI has quite tremendous potential, which has already been proven through things like personalized medicines that allow us to live healthier and longer lives, empowering our most productive talent. So, as was shared in the last presentation, AI is really a tool for amplification of our best talent in the world. And we should not take it lightly that if we can make our best talent a lot more productive, what the potential that has for us. Imagine if you had somebody like Isaac Newton, who would live twice as long and be 10 times more productive. You would produce many, many more new innovations. We also have the potential, which has already been shown, to discover new energy sources, more sustainable energy sources. And in the fields that our customers work in manufacturing, from aerospace to automotive and semiconductor chip design, we've seen tremendous advances in how engineering can accelerate product development in each of these fields to help us build more reliable forms of transportation, to build better computer chips, and ultimately build solutions that help us explore space and even new planets. In order to support science and engineering from a governmental perspective, AI really comes down to three sort of key capabilities. #1 is computing capabilities. Computing has already been something that, of course, there are many supercomputing centers and universities that have access to these resources, but there needs to be continued investment in new chip designs, new data centers, more energy efficient data centers, more new energy sources to power those data centers, to be able to bring these new computing capabilities to make AI available and more accessible to our engineers and scientists. The second is data, and data already exists everywhere, but it's important we capture that, we securely manage this data, that we continue to invest in the universities, the research and development, and the different institutions that produce new ideas that our engineers and scientists work at, whether commercial or from the public sector. And last but not least, with computing and data, ultimately you can start building these AI solutions. I thought I would share maybe a few examples of what's possible in the field of AI physics, where engineers and scientists are dramatically changing how they can discover new capabilities. You may have heard of AlphaFold, which is an example of protein folding and protein structures discovery, where the activities that would typically have taken about 10 years of lab research are able to be solved in less than 24 hours on a small cluster of computers. This technology was developed several years ago, and today over 2 million scientists use this technology globally to advance drug discovery and life sciences research. So this is a relatively mature example where this technology is already impacting our lives. A few other examples in different fields. AI physics, as used in engineering, is helping design the next generation of airplanes, rockets, cars, semiconductor chips. And in many of these cases, engineers are able to do physics simulations, which can take many days or weeks on supercomputers. Now they're able to do this in a matter of seconds and minutes. So over 1,000 times faster with very high levels of accuracy. And so this technology really transforms how our best companies and our researchers and engineers are able to develop new solutions faster. The potential of AI physics is tremendous. So today we use this as a tool to augment our best engineers and scientists to discover new capabilities faster. But AI models, like foundational physics models, actually have the potential to discover new things by themselves. In the case of inorganic materials and material science, we have historically, from just a few years ago, we only knew of about 50,000 inorganic materials that existed. These are all the inorganic materials in the world that we know. But with AI, we've now discovered over 2.2 million new inorganic materials that are stable. We don't yet know how to develop and sort of fabricate all of these. We still need to figure that out. But 2.2 million materials to choose from versus 50,000 if you're designing energy storage devices, so batteries, that has the potential to dramatically change how we can store energy and how we can develop new solutions with these materials. These materials will change our lives. So these technologies together truly have the ability to solve the world's most largest structural challenges, whether it's in material science, whether it's developing sustainable energy, whether it's living longer and healthier lives in healthcare. And it's critical that we provide these tools to our engineers and scientists in both the public sector and the commercial sector to help bring this value to society and be able to use this to build a better future together. Of course, AI is growing at an exponential rate and it's accelerating. So it's of course important to have the safeguards, to have responsible and ethical development of AI. But we have to remember that it's also critical that we don't slow down the technological progress and the potential that this technology has to make society globally a very prosperous place where everybody is living in a better future. By providing these abundant capabilities and value, we can deliver much more upward mobility in society, I think, across the world through leveraging engineering and science. And together, this will help us build a better future full of peace, security, and shared prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joris. I think physics AI is a very new category that hasn't been really recognized in Japan. We all know about generative AI, but thank you so much for explaining about the potential impact of physics AI. Next, we will have Mr. Matsuo, who is a renowned AI expert in Japan and also in the world. And we are looking forward to hearing from his great presentation. So Mr. Matsuo, the floor is yours.
Yeah, let me start my presentation for like 10 minutes. Thank you very much for this great opportunity. My name is Shita Hamato. I'm professor at University of Tokyo. We are doing research on AI, deep learning, generative AI for many decades, maybe almost 30 years. And I'm serving as the chairperson of the Japan Deep Learning Association. And I'm sitting the board of SoftBank Group. And also I'm serving as the chairperson of the AI Strategy Council under the Cabinet Office. Today, I want to share what's going on in the recent academia in generative AI and also a little bit about Japan's AI strategy. And as you know, DeepSeek has shocked the entire community at the beginning of this year. And actually, this is the demo where we make the DeepSeek to solve the math entrance exam of University of Tokyo, which is known to be maybe one of the most difficult entrance exam in the world. And DeepSeek takes like 10 minutes to solve the all 5 questions. And as a result, they almost perfectly solve the problem. So now the DeepSeek can enter the University of Tokyo. And also there are many other great technologies. And OpenAI released the research, and I'm using a lot every day. But if you could just investigate on some topic, the research tries to explore the internet and make the correct the necessary information and makes the very neatly written report in a academic paper style. And that is very useful for many purposes. And the technology behind that is, the very famous ones, transformers, and also the self-supervised learning. Transformer is the collection of attention mechanism, which can select the part of the neural network that is used for the given input. So it can enhance the flexibility. And self-supervised learning is also known as the next word prediction. So the model tries to predict the next word coming in, and by doing that, the model can have the knowledge about the world or causal relations, or many necessary knowledge behind the data, and that model is used for the downstream tasks even afterward the pre-training. And we have a scaling law. We have, if we have more computers, we have more data, we have a larger model, then we get a better result. And that's why the big tech is competing each other to invest more amount of money. But the interesting thing is actually we don't really know what is going on in the large scale neural network. And what we know is just to use the large model and large data, large computation, we get better model, but what's going on inside is not known well. But gradually we are revealing what's going on inside. The one interesting recent finding is the concept called grokking. Grokking is a phenomenon where the generalization happens, and this is how it works out. When we start training, the model easily overfit. So which means the model will very, the model learns or even to memorize the training data and performs very well to the training data, but it doesn't, perform well to the test data. So that is called overfit. So model overfit to training data. But if we still keep going the training, even if it is overfit, then and the training process will take more than 100 times more. Then suddenly the model generalizes. That means the test performance goes up. So that's a very interesting phenomenon, and maybe this is similar to the human case. We have to memorize many things. When we are high school or junior high, we have to remember many, theories, laws, or histories. And after several years, we have some insight to, structure the field, the overview of the field, and then we can answer the more diverse questions. So maybe the same process happens in the large scale transformer models. It's not a good way to directly connect to the brain science, but I think the overall intuition is like that. And also, this is another notable things recently found is the concept called circuit. The researchers found that there is a small scale sub network where some function is realized. For example, so retrieval, matching, or something like the very basic primitive function. And for example, if we want to make a electric circuit, we have to design that, and there is a very primitive component like a transistor or a register or something like that, and with several transistor and register condenser, maybe we can make some functions, and using that function, we can build much larger functions. So maybe similar things happens in the large-scale neural network, and there is a very small primitive component called circuit, and circuit merges to the more large-scale functions. So that is the how the academic research is going on in the neural network field, but yeah, we still don't know what's happening in the large-scale neural network, but industry goes along and they want to try and build the very large-scale neural network. I want to share recent advances in robotics, because in the robot field there is something interesting is going on. This is the research in our lab, Tidy Up robot, and actually we won the competition in the RoboCup at Home Japan, surprising RoboCup at Home World competition. And what we want to do is to make an order to the robot, and the robot will behave accordingly, and the score is recorded. And what's going on is so far it was very difficult to have the robot planning and the movement of each hand or location. It is very difficult to calculate the path. But what recently happening is translation. So the large language model can translate the human language to the robotic language. So the sequence of command. So the robot can move smoothly according to the human's intention. For example, if we order the robot to pick up some apple in the table, then the sequence of robotic command will output using LLM, and which is more robust and flexible compared to the technology before. And also, what we are seeing is a very innovative change for the robotic foundation model. It's yeah, this is very famous in our community. The Silicon Valley startup named Physical Intelligence just released this model Pi0 in last October, and the robot can do the laundry and fold towels or t-shirts, very smooth way, and it can also clean up a table or assemble a box, so they can be very flexible. And how it is realized is just like the LLM. So they use very large-scale transformer model and put sensor actuator data, and they use self-supervised learning to predict the next sensory or actuator input, and the model can recognize the environment or robot body or the task itself, and they can behave very smoothly, flexibly according to the human's instruction. And also the Google just do the same thing. The Google released the robot manipulation technology in this March, and this is the example that we say that to the robot, make a dunk shoot. Then the robot recognize what is dunk shoot, and what is the basketball here, and the robot pick up the ping pong ball and put that into that. Yeah, so there is there's a significant change in the robotic field, and in order to make the very large scale robotic foundation model, we have to have the data. So there is a project called RTX is going on with a collaboration of 21 research institutes. We collect data from all over the world and make the very large data set, and the large data set is used to train the very large robotic foundation model. And what we are trying to do is to establish the robot data sharing platform from Japan. So yesterday we have a press conference to announce that we launched the IROA AI Robot Association. And this association aims to make an ecosystem or platform to collect the robotic data, in a very open way, so that the researchers all over the world can use that data to make the robotic foundation model. So it's an open source or open-minded approach, similar to Llama or DeepSeek or whatever. But we want to contribute to the entire community in the world for the robotic industry and applications. And I think that in Japan, because of the human resource shortage, maybe the robotic technologies can be used in many industries and scenes, like construction, agriculture, or retail, or medical, whatever. So I think this is a very good opportunity for Japan. So, yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Matsuo. I think we at least learned 3 new terms. The first one is grokking, the second one is circuit, and the third one is the new trend of robotics and the initiative that you're doing, IROA. Thank you so much. So next, we will hear from Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Japan, Mr. Kano. The floor is yours.
His Excellency Mr. Kyuichi Minoru, Minister of State for Economic Security, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to begin by congratulating the success of the 4th Shinzo Abe Initiative Conference, and I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to introduce UNESCO's efforts in the field of artificial intelligence, AI, and Japan's contribution. As you know, emerging technologies such as AI offer a great window of opportunity for all of us, and the number of international programs, conferences, and organizations working on AI has been multiplied in the last couple of years, including G7 Hiroshima AI process, and more recently, the AI Action Summit held in Paris in February this year. Many of you may question why UNESCO is relevant to AI. I suppose that people generally have an image of UNESCO as the organization that deals with cultural heritage and education, and few people recognize that UNESCO has any role to play in AI. Actually, the organization does have a significant role to play, and I would like to touch upon this. UNESCO, unlike the G7 and OECD, is a comprehensive international forum in terms of its membership that includes not only developed countries, but also the so-called Global South countries. In its constitution made 80 years ago, UNESCO is supposed to seek to contribute to peace and security by promoting collaboration among nations through education, science, culture, and communication and information. AI technologies can be of great service to humanity, and all countries can benefit from them but also raise fundamental ethical concerns. For instance, the biases they can embed and exacerbate, potentially resulting in discrimination, inequality, digital divide, exclusion, and a threat to cultural, social, and biological diversity and social or economic divides. Based on such a common understanding, UNESCO has been actively discussing about AI and trying to develop the ethics of AI. In November 2021, at 41st UNESCO General Conference, the recommendation on the ethics of artificial intelligence was adopted by acclamation by 193 member states. And the recommendation demands member states to apply the provisions by taking appropriate steps, including whatever legislative or other measures may be required, in conformity with the constitutional practice and governing structures of each member state. During the formulation process, Japan has actively provided support to UNESCO, not only financially, but also through the dispatch of experts. The recommendation mandated UNESCO to develop innovative capacity building tools to assist member states, namely the ethical impact assessment and the readiness assessment methodology, a tool for governments to build a comprehensive picture of how prepared they are to implement AI ethically and responsibly for all their citizens. These tools are now being implemented in more than 60 countries across various regions. Since 2022, Japan has contributed more than $1 million to the development of these tools, as well as the implementation of the tools in more than 20 countries in Africa and small island development states, or SIDS. In addition to these initiatives, cross-sectoral initiatives such as the use of AI from the perspective of ensuring high-quality education and the use of AI technology in the field of disaster risk reduction are also being promoted, taking advantage of UNESCO's wide range of mandates. In conclusion, UNESCO, with its comprehensive membership, including Global South countries, and its mandates covering education, science, culture, and communication information, plays a unique role in the field of AI and could provide a good platform which Japan can take advantage of in implementing its policies on AI. I hope that my remark could provide some food for thoughts for today's discussion. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Kano. That was a very interesting blend of AI and culture heritage. So next, we are going to hear from Audrey Tan, the first Minister for Digital Affairs of Taiwan and a friend of ours. So Audrey, the floor is yours.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
Great. Distinguished guests, friends, colleagues, it is a real honor to share my thoughts with you at this fourth Shinzo Abe conference. Today, as we reflect upon Prime Minister Abe's legacy, his insightful balance of innovation and stability, and his belief that technology must always serve human dignity and well-being, this resonates very powerfully with Japan's forward-thinking initiatives, such as Society 5.0. Now, our conference theme, Government 24/7, AI and Finance Platform, highlights the need for governance that is not only continuously responsive, but fundamentally ethical. And achieving this requires more than advanced algorithm. It depends on a deep public trust and sustained citizen participation. And drawing from Taiwan's decade of digital democracy experience, today I'll share briefly how we've used technology, not just for efficiency, but to build essential fabric of trust and through what we call broad listening. So not broadcasting, broad listening. Over the past decade, amid the very rapid social change and division, we recognize the limits of conventional governance through voicing discontent through opposition. We had to actively build better alternatives through proposition. And this led to initiative 10 years ago called GovZero, G0V. We guide by this motto, forking the government. Fork in software development means creating an improved version of existing code. And apply to governance, it means collaboratively building open solutions. when official digital services fall short. So far from just protesting, this is about demonstration, fostering a culture of shared responsibility. And this philosophy was tested during digital disruptions, notably in 2015, when the ride-sharing service like Uber first arrived. Instead of polarized conflicts, we used a digital platform called Polis, designed for collective sense-making. Thousands of people shared nuanced thoughts, their feelings around Uber or taxis. And this idea is that the confrontational dynamic do not come from the anti-social social media, but from this pro-social social media, where people resonated with each other through upvotes and downvotes, but no reply buttons. And the uncommon ground was surfaced through this opinion landscape. And this proved that technology, when intentionally designed, can surface these uncommon ground and make actual legal statements and legislations to foster genuine dialogue and turn that into something that really closes the loop. And as AI becomes more integrated into governance and finance, ethical considerations intensify. As we know, AI lowers the cost of sophisticated attack, phishing, polarization, division attacks. But the crucial counterpoint is that it also dramatically lowered the cost of facilitation. And broad listening enhanced by AI harnessed this opportunity. And our guiding principle here is called plurality. It's not chasing a single monolithic superintelligence or the singularity, but rather about embracing diverse technologies to enhance human collaboration through assistive intelligence. And in Japan, we're very happy to see, inspired by plurality, people like Takahiro Ano, who campaigned for the Tokyo governance seat, vividly demonstrate this by implementing broad listening, mapping public discourse, employing language model for productive online dialogue, and co-creating the platforms on GitHub. And so the innovative engagement are now tapping into the Tokyo GovTech and many other parties in Japan for strategic governance planning. And last March, we also explored the same technology, AI-assisted broad listening, when tackling the urgent requirements of fighting AI-generated deepfake scams. Because last March, when you scroll like Facebook or YouTube in Taiwan, you sometimes see Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, trying to sell you some crypto or some stocks. And if you click, Jensen actually talks to you through voice message and text message. Of course, that's a deepfake. And so last March, we sent 200,000 text SMS to random numbers around Taiwan from the trusted number 111, so people know it comes from the government, with just one very simple question. How do you feel about information integrity online? And people share their ideas, and they volunteered for a kind of jury duty, citizens assembly online. And we chose randomly a statistically representative sample of 450 people in 45 rooms of 10 people each to hold those discussions. And an AI in the room facilitated the conversation, making transcripts and encouraging people to speak up and so on. And this idea basically crowdsourced the Overton window, the acceptable solutions from the people, with the people. For example, one room would say, you should not actually assume every advertisement is real until people flag it as scam. You should assume everything is a scam until Jensen Huang digitally sign it as real. And another room says, well, if you don't require this KYC and the platform like Facebook run this advertisement anyway, and somebody gets scammed for, say, $5 million, you don't fine Facebook. You make them liable for that $5 million of damage. And another room may say, TikTok, ByteDance do not have a legal representative in Taiwan. So if you assign liability, they may not pay. What do? Well, we gradually slow down connection to ByteDance service until they agree to set up the legal representation. Otherwise, their business go to Google or something. And so without content level censorship, all these ideas cohere together. We read them back to the plenary, thanks to the sense-making capability of language model grounded in individual statements. People know which part of which utterance influence, like a shapely function, the weight of the final consultation results. And so by March, we already showed the legislature more than 85% of people agreed with these measures, regardless of their occupation, gender, place they live, age bracket, and so on, without censoring anyone. This idea was then checked with the stakeholders in Big Tech in April, And we proposed this draft law in last May and was fast-tracked to the digital signature amendments in June. And today, if you open Facebook or YouTube in Taiwan, you simply don't see those deepfake ads anymore. And so I think this demonstrates broad listening and plurality in action can build societal resilience through empowering citizens to collectively address such complex challenges at the speed of technology. And such trust and accountability is the non-negotiable prerequisite when deploying advanced technologies, especially within financial platforms, and the focus of this conference. And so I think public confidence must be earned rather than assumed. This deliberative process through conversation networks are essential to ensure the rules and ethical guidelines governing AI align with broadly held public values, addressing concerns about fairness, bias, privacy, and so on. And so the civic infrastructure, this kind of conversation infrastructure, I think embodies Prime Minister Abe's vision of data-free flow with trust, empowering individuals, protecting privacy and integrity rather than centralizing control. And therefore, Taiwan's vision for AIWS government 24/7 is very clear. It is committing to plurality over singularity, prioritizing broad listening, and deploying AI assistively to enhance human deliberation. After all, if we just send our chatbots to a jury duty and they talk among themselves, it's like sending our robots to the gym to lift weights for ourselves. It's very impressive, but the civic muscles simply do not grow. Indeed, we need to build deep, enduring trust through human networks of deliberation, but facilitated by AI and closing the loop through broad listening technologies. As a conclusion, I'd like to share with you my job description from 2016. In Taiwanese Mandarin, 数位 means both digital and plural. So I served not just as cabinet minister for digital affairs, but also plural affairs. So my job description goes like this. When we see the Internet of Things, let's make it an Internet of beings. When we see virtual reality, let's make it a shared reality. When we see machine learning, let's make it collaborative learning. When we see user experience, let's make it about human experience. And whenever we hear the singularity is near, let us always remember the plurality is here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Audrey. Great talk, and also we honor to inform with you. Boston Global Forum honor Audrey Tang. She will be honored at Harvard University on April 22 at conference with World Leader in AI Society Award this year. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. In Harvard on April 22. Audrey, thank you.
Thank you, Audrey. I think it was a remarkable speech. You highlighted not only the potential of AI, but the need of really sophisticated philosophy to really design the system around AI. And especially the last quote was great. Thank you very much. Next, we will have Alex Pentland, who is a renowned professor at MIT and Stanford of AI. He is dialing in from Boston. I know it's very late. Thank you so much for dialing in. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I find often I'm come right after Audrey, and that's a terrible place to give a talk. But I will do my short little best. So what you've heard is that the world is becoming full of AI, and that could be good or that could be bad, but there'll certainly be agentic systems everywhere. There'll be, some of them will be trying to help you, some of them will be trying to sell to you, some of them will be scams. There'll be many things like this going on. And the question that I want to ask is, who's going to defend the average human, the citizens, the kids, the elders? You need some way for them to be part of this game, to defend themselves, to make good decisions, to get the right medical help, to avoid scams, and so on and so forth. So we've come to a point where now you need to have personally owned AIs in order to be able for individual people to be able to participate in this increasingly AI, fast, complex world. So that means that there needs to be something that represents you, legally represents you, is a fiduciary. It knows the sorts of things you want. It is your agent, literally, in the world. And it uses AI to try and accomplish that. And the view that we have is that this should be a digital public good. Everyone should have access to this, and it shouldn't be something that is biased towards particular companies or particular points of view. Uh, so the question then becomes, who's going to build this and why? Well, we had a meeting about this uh, at Stanford, and we said, look, we want to build this digital public good. And to our shock, we had the heads of AI production, the C-level people from Microsoft, Salesforce, Google, uh, Anthropic, Visa, on and on and on. All of the big companies want to have a fair legal environment, and it seems increasingly clear to them as they develop these agentic systems that it needs to be a level playing ground where people have what you can think of as AI defenders or AI buddies. But who's going to build that? Well, the answer is we're going to build that at Stanford with some international NGOs, uh, uh, people like Mozilla, people like Consumer Reports, and also with gifts that are from some of these big companies and from other NGO organizations around the world. And what we hope to do is we hope to build something like this calendar year, because at Stanford you have the world's best AI engineers. They can put things together very quickly. And we will be testing it actually in the field in people's communities like the Consumer Reports community or the people of San Francisco or the people of Washington, D.C., all of whom are interested in having defenders, having their citizens, having tools that will help them navigate bureaucratic problems, avoid scams, get the right sort of advice according to their views. It's not the government telling people or anybody telling you what to believe. It has to be something that represents you. And that's the interesting sort of scientific and legal difference between what we're doing and I think what almost everybody else is doing. So we want to level the playing field by building trusted, personally owned agents where you control your data, where it does what you want, not what somebody else wants. And we'd love to have people join us in this. And I've heard several people talk already who I think will be interesting partners as we launch this effort. So please get in contact if you're interested. Just Alex Penland at Gmail works, or Juan has a short statement of the things that we're doing if you ask him, or you can ask me. So thank you.
Professor Pentland, thank you so much for a great presentation. Definitely interesting initiative. I hope people in this room would consider to join. Next, we will have Mr. Kanehara, who is the Executive Director of Sasagawa Peace Foundation and also a professor at Dojusha University. Mr. Professor, please.
Thank you very much for having me. Can I speak in this way?
Yes.
Somebody seeing me? This one? Yeah. Good. Can I make 3 points, very short points? One is the digital democracy has come. 88 billion people are connected by smartphones, producing huge amount of data every day. And AI is now helping this communication among us. Sympathy is shared by many people. Love and conscience, these things, we can make sure that we are the same human beings. Ethically, the human society is maturing, and AI is helping us a lot. The government will change a lot soon. Maybe AI will help the senior people how to write e-tax papers and social pension papers, and AI will help us a lot. But this is new democracy because mass media can no longer impose their opinion upon the people. People are shaking up mass media and politics. This is new age now. Now I have moved to the second point, Trump phenomenon. Those who did not pay much attention to politics are now awakened by smartphones. Those who did not read the papers every day, they listen to Trump's voice every day through this. And if you once push the button of I like it, you have to hear the voice of Trump every day. And you never hear the voice of Kamala or Hillary Clinton. This is new age. And one phrase, sensational, emotional, one phrase message reaches these people. And these people are not very much they are not political people. They are very busy with their own lives, raising kids, earning money, and they can't judge whether this message is right or not. And this is new democracy today. So agitation politics came back. Radio produced Hitler. It's not only Hitler, Churchill, De Gaulle, Roosevelt used radios. Now this AI enhanced smartphones, politicians will use that. And they are the winners. Tamaki-san was very successful in Japanese politics in Japan, but this is the same thing as Trump. And not to be agitated, people must be wise, and they make democracy function through open but fair debates. But we are not yet there. Finally, let me touch upon the wrongdoers. Well, bad guys here too. The scam people, they get money through the senior people, right? And disinformation scatters, divide, disrupt, and deceit. This is the purpose of disinformation operations by, say, KGB, by PLA. There are professionals for doing that against the open, fair society like ours. Free world is very weak. We are very immune. We are very open to them. And then cyber intelligence everywhere. Cyber spies. You had to send the spies in a very difficult situation like Tom Cruise from the Mission Impossible. That was us in, let's say, 20 years ago. Now it's one click. Spy agents, the malware goes everywhere. They get a lot of information from our governments, from our companies. This is cyber intelligence time, and this leads to military destruction if the contingency happens. So cyber security must be robustly enhanced. I have said the government of Japan is very, very, very weak, as weak as North Korea. It is a shame for us. But finally, Ishiba-san decided to make a new law for active cyber defense. I think this is not a very strong law. It's heavily police-oriented. This is not defense-oriented. I have said there are two weak points in this law. One is this is not about the law, but the government's cloud is very weak. We have to prepare government clouds. Active cyber defense is offensive, right? But if you can defend yourself, I'm a bit worried about our government's cloud. It can be very weak government clouds, then we can be attacked by China or Russia. But the second part is this is the law for policemen to arrest the DOS attack doers or the ransom seekers, but this is not against the foreign intelligence machines or foreign military machines. What is lacking very much is the military reconnaissance. The military and intelligence organizations are allowed to look into each other. They break the codes and they look into each other. And this is not the constitutional issue. This is outside the constitutional issue. Everybody does that. In this law, our self-defense forces will not be given authority to do that. So this is a big weakness of this law. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Kanehara, of connecting with AI and some national security issues. Definitely interesting. Next, we will have the former French minister, Monero, who is also a representative of BGF France in Africa. So, Elizabeth.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, dear partners and friends from across the globe. It is both an honor and a responsibility to speak to you today as the representative of the Boston Global Forum for France and Africa on this historic occasion at the heart of Tokyo at the close of the 4th Shinzo Abe Conference. Although I join you from a distance, my voice carries with it the aspiration of two continents, Europe and Africa, united by a shared belief that technology must serve people and not the other way around. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe understood this better than most of the people. He envisioned a hope-driven economy where innovation was not just a tool for growth, but a catalyst for stability, dignity, and democratic resilience. Today, we gather to build on his legacy through the bold vision of government 24/7, AI, and finance platforms. This is not just about digitizing public services. It is about reimagining governance. It is about creating governments that are responsive, resilient, and relentlessly human. Because no citizen should ever be told, come back tomorrow. Not when their rights, their health, or their future is at stake. And certainly not when technology allows us today to respond instantly, equitably, and transparently. The AIWS Government 24/7 platform embodies this vision. It is a public finance system that never sleeps, designed to empower government and uplift citizens. It's a platform where artificial intelligence supports tax services, benefits distribution, fraud detection, and even personalized financial planning, not just for the privileged few, but for every citizen, including those historically excluded. As a woman who was born in Africa, raised in Europe, and who has served in the highest levels of government and businesses, I can tell you this. Digital transformation without inclusion is just another form of exclusion. And we can't build government 24/7 unless we build trust 24/7. We build trust in artificial intelligence. We build trust in institutions. And we build trust in one another. That is why ethics must be the backbone of this transformation. It needs to have transparency so that every decision is open and auditable. We need accountability so that algorithms do not replace judgment but assist it. We need equity so that even the most vulnerable on every continent are not left behind. And we need sustainability because our financial systems must serve future generations, not just quarterly results. This is especially urgent for Africa, a continent full of youth, energy, and untapped potential. Artificial intelligence and finance platforms can unlock unprecedented opportunities, but only if we design them to be inclusive by default. And as we design the future, let us not forget the lessons of the past. It was once said by Nobel laureate Henry Kissinger that who controls the food supply controls the people. Who controls the energy can control whole continents. Who controls money can control the world. I don't know if Henry Kissinger really said that, but today we must go beyond control. In an era of artificial intelligence, in an era of global interdependence, the question is no longer who controls, but rather who takes responsibility. responsibility to empower, not to dominate, responsibility to serve, not to survey, and responsibility to unite, not to divide. Because the true power of technology lies not in what it can do, but rather in what we choose to do with it. And as Prime Minister Shinzo Abe once said, the future is not something we enter. It is something we create. So let us create it together with courage, with clarity and care. Let us build a government 24/7 that reflects not only the power of artificial intelligence, but the best of our humanity. I thank you for your attention, and I wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Minister Monero, of highlighting the importance of really building trust in governments to achieve the era of AI. Next, we will have Mr. Nakayama, who is the representative of BGF Japan and Taiwan, also the former State Minister of Defense and Foreign Affairs. So, Mr. Nakayama, please.
はい、ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. Carrying forward Shinzo Abe's vision, a financial AI protocol for ethical innovation and global security. Today, the world stands the beginning of an era unlike any before, a time of tremendous technological change. Among these changes, artificial intelligence is already transforming how our economies and societies function, and the financial world is no exception. We must guide this transformation so that it leads to prosperity and safety for all people. The proposal I present today, the Abe Financial AI Protocol, is a framework inspired by the vision of values of the late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. It provides direction for how financial systems should operate in the age of AI. Prime Minister Abe always based his policies on universal values: freedom, democracy, the rule of law, and human dignity. The Abe Financial AI Protocol is also built on these principles. It aims to create a financial system that is open and secure, where trust and transparency support innovation. This protocol reflects the idea of a Society 5.0, a society where technology serves people and embraces the concept of data-free flow with trust, DFFT, which Japan has championed on the global stage. With these frameworks, we seek to make sure AI brings benefits to many while protecting human rights and dignity. Prime Minister Abe often said, without economic revitalization, there can be neither national prosperity nor national security. This belief is at the heart of the economic strategy behind this protocol. By using financial technologies, fintech, and AI, we can drive economic growth, improve financial services, and create new industries. In doing so, we can once again revitalize Japan's economy and tackle long-term challenges, such as our aging population. These efforts carry forward the spirit of Abenomics, a policy focused on inclusive growth that reaches all citizens. At the same time, innovation must always go hand in hand with safety and security. In the financial world, the misuse of AI can pose serious threats from destabilizing the economy to disrupting daily life. We must protect society against AI-driven financial crimes, cyber attacks on infrastructures, and the harmful use of new technologies. Just as Prime Minister Abe strengthened Japan's national security under the idea of proactive contribution to peace, this protocol places great importance on defending our financial systems in the AI era. We must update the legal frameworks, ensure transparency in algorithm, and give our regulators and law enforcement that tools they need to keep us safe. In addition, allow me to speak from the perspective of a statesman and politician. Japan once achieved a remarkable post-war recovery and high economic growth as a nation built on processing trade. With few natural resources, Japan's greatest asset has always been its people. Under a fixed exchange rate of 360 yen to the US dollar, our country leveraged human talent and the technological skill to open new markets and compete on the global stage. Today, however, we face a new set of challenges: population decline, a low birth rate, and an aging society. We must not cling to past successes, but instead develop new strategies for sustainable growth. The keys to this will be greater productivity and a stronger international technological cooperation. In particular, we should pay close attention to Israel, a nation involved in some from with roughly 70% of the world's startups. Their strength lies in creating 0 to 1 innovations, groundbreaking ideas that are absorbed by Silicon Valley and the global tech giants like GAFA, leading to worldwide success. Japan too must import such deep technologies from Israel and other innovative ecosystems, refine and commercialize them at home, and export them to the world as made in Japan products. In this way, we can rebuild ourselves as a 21st century processing trade nation. Japan has discernment, the mind's eye, to distinguish what is genuine. With this, we can form a partnership with global startups and implement a national strategy focused on enhancing productivity. Just yesterday, I received a presentation from the Dean of the School of Science and Engineering at Waseda University and several students entrepreneurs. I strongly felt that Japan's younger generations is filled with promise. The technologies they are creating from 0 to 1 will surely be commercialized and implemented in society very soon. And yet, I couldn't help but think now, unfortunate it would be to waste that time between now and then. We must also learn from the world, bring in the best ideas, and work together with countries and organizations that can offer synergy. Let us not be distracted by political conflicts. Instead, let us keep our focus on what truly matters. Let us set clear national goals and build a new future together. In closing, I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of you who have gathered here today and to everyone who actively participated in our discussion. I offer my deepest respect and appreciation to Governor Michael Dukakis and Mr. Nguyen Antoine for this outstanding leadership of Boston Global Forum and their tireless efforts in organization this event. I also extend my sincere thanks to Ms. Nobu Emita, Special Assistant to Chairman of the Boston Global Forum, for her invaluable support in advancing this protocol and is preparing this important conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nakayama, for the comprehensive speech and also for the hope of next generation leaders. So thank you so much. Last but maybe the least, I would speak briefly. Let me share the screen. Okay, great. So today I will speak briefly about the commercialization of AI. I know we have a lot of speakers that are experts in AI and But I think we must not forget about commercialization, because at the end, we would like to achieve economic growth. And well, briefly, if you want to achieve AI and economic development, you need to think about these three things. The first one is technology. So which technology are we using? In terms of AI, it is going to be like large language models or deep learning. The second thing is the most important part, which is the commercialization and the business models that serves around. And the third one is really the resource of scale. Now, let me comment briefly on each of them. Technology, I mentioned some large language models and deep learning. People who develop technologies are going to really, change the world. But basically, the technology itself does not have much monetary value. If the people who have monetary value is the commercialization part. ChatGPT has a lot of huge amount of market cap, but they're based on they didn't really develop the foundation of large language models. That was developed by some scholars, but do they earn monetary value? They do, but it's not as the scale of, for example, the commercialization around like ChatGPT or some other businesses. So my point here is we need to build an ecosystem of really commercializing these technologies in order to really foster GDP growth, not only for Japan, but for the world. And why is this? This is basically the correlation between GDP growth. So we made an investigation, and there's a lot of research around this. The strongest correlation between GDP growth is not population. A lot of people think it's population. The Japanese government thinks population is so important. It's not population. It's the number of innovation. And what is innovation? It's the number of commercialization, especially destructive commercialization. What does that mean? It means as a result of commercializing technology, you replace existing business models. And really, GDP growth is determined by this. How much commercialization, destructive commercialization can you make in one country? Let's think about an example of Israel. Israel had a very high GDP growth pre-war, 6-7% per capita. But if you look at the population, it wasn't really increasing that much. If you compare it with, for example, countries like Africa, Africa has a huge population growth. But if you look at the GDP growth, it's, it depends on the country, but it's about 2 to 3%. It's very modest compared to countries like Israel. So if you look at this, you'll find that really population will be a bonus. It's not the determinant factor. The determinant factor is the number of commercialization. So let's see whether we can commercialize this new opportunity of AI. Now, let's look at the innovation indicators of Japan. If you look at the input here, right here, it says number 5. Japan has the world's 5th largest R&D investments. This is the sum of governments and companies. It's pretty good. The results of the output 1, right here in the middle, actually is outstanding. We have the 3rd largest number of patents in the world. And when it comes to patent income, it says number 3, but actually, in some statistics, it's world number 1. We're even higher than the United States and China, and when it comes to patent income. But as I explained before, really, the technology and the patent itself does not really bring monetary value. The point that brings monetary value is this point, the red part, the commercialization part. If you look at the commercialization part, you would see that Japan is no longer the G20. It's probably, if you average this out, it's probably going to be G60. So the point is, if we want economic growth, if we want to translate AI technology, or not even AI technology, but any technology to GDP growth, you need commercialization. So this is the most important part that I wanted to talk today. Yes, technology is important. Yes, government 24/7 is important, but if you can't build a business model that is scalable and that can compete with the government, other countries, you are not going to achieve economic growth. So how you should do this? My point is really you should learn from the other countries' success business models, not only the technology but the business models. And this is not relatively a new phenomenon. For example, after World War II, Japan really imported the idea of consumer electronics and automobile from, the Western countries. They didn't really invent automobile or consumer electronics, but they did a research allocation. They had the right model at that time, and then some companies, great companies like Hitachi and Toyota emerged. This is same for China. China in the past 15 years, the growth has been remarkable. A lot of people thought that China wasn't really growing that much, but what they did is they commercialized it. They learned from the business models from around the world. They adapted fastly. They provided a lot of compensation to great talent, and they fastly scaled it up. And this is the same for actually any country. Now, but if you look at Japan in the past 20 years, a lot of the companies have been focused internally rather than learning the business model outside. So this is the first point that I want to make. We need to learn quickly from new business models around the world. If copying it is another word, but learn from it, implement in your own country, and try to combine with your own existing technology in your domestic market in a very, very fast speed. This is what we need in the era of AI. And there's one idea that I would like to introduce, which is called the company creation model. This is a relatively new kind of phenomena. It's a company creation model. Basically, a typical way of creating a venture is, there's an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur thinks about like a problem that's around himself and that he's been thinking through, and kind of start from there and get some better capital investments. A company creation model it's working from the other way around. You look at the market, you look at the technology, and you look at the market size and the large of the problem, the scale of the problem. You identify the problem first. That's the first phase. The second phase is you identify the scalable and the profitable business models that are already existing in other countries. And the third part is you identify a gap. For example, there's a business model in the US, there's not in China or not in Japan. You identify a gap, and then you partner with the government or the large corporations, and you build a scalable and profitable business model in a very short time horizon. There's a couple of examples. For example, Moderna. Moderna in the United States was built by this company creation model. It wasn't built by just one founder. It was built by a company creation model fund called Flagship Pioneering. Another example is a fund in Vargas in Switzerland. Vargas created 5 companies in 5 years. All 5 is a unicorn company. So this is a very new phenomenon called the company creation model approach. If you look at Japan, sadly, as the minister mentioned, we do have some young people that are great entrepreneurs, trying to thrive for great entrepreneurs. But if you look at the absolute number, the supply is limited. So I thought really the Japanese government and some business leaders, it's one idea to really implement this company creation model. Okay, so let me stop there. Thank you so much. And we will have a 5-minute break. No, we're not going to have a break. We will go on to the discussion. So thank you so much. Okay, so we are going to have a discussion today. Stop sharing. Okay, so this is like a free kind of panel discussion today in the room.
I think in online.
On
we have outstanding student from top university in Enlightenment in Action Alliance. They were waiting to discuss with us. So please, Kevin, EAA members, we look forward and receive your question and discussion.
Yes,
EAA members,
yes,
please.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cameron Sabat here. Yes. So yes, I'm a fellow with the Enlightenment and Action Alliance. We're a global community of university students endorsed by the Boston Global Forum, collaborating to advance ethical AI development and governance solutions. So this EAA program unites young leaders from premier institutions across 5 continents to transform enlightened ideas into tangible actions for harnessing AI as a force for public good. And I did have a question. So Minister Tang, the EAA represents youth leaders in AI from around the world. How can we collaborate with you and perhaps others to advance ethical AI governance and digital technology initiatives that reflect both your pioneering work in Taiwan and our global student perspective?
May I go ahead and answer?
Please.
Okay, great. Yeah, when I was in the cabinet, I was also the minister in charge of youth engagement as well as social innovation. And one of the most interesting efforts that we have found is simply to have a coalition around the edge use of AI. So think of what we in Taiwan called AIoT or AI-assisted Internet of Things, where people, for example, measure air quality, water quality, noise pollution levels, you name it, and then write to a global shared distributed ledger that holds such measurements, and so build kind of citizen science together. And if you look for a recent paper that I co-wrote with Larry Lessig and Deb Roy called Conversation Networks, we apply the same ideas, but not just to the quantitative measurement of citizen science, but rather also the qualitative measurements of young people's feelings, young people's networks around the incoming emerging technological threats, but also, for example, in California, about the wildfire issue and recovery, or in Bowling Green, Kentucky, about the future of Bowling Green, and so on and so forth. So I would encourage you to tap into your local civil society organization that implements this kind of conversation networks and work together to weave this together at scale so that we can show through deliberative efforts the decision makers, not just what the young people demand, but also what the young people have demonstrated as working models.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions from the panel? Speakers to speakers also is fine.
I have ideas.
Yes, please.
No. I idea with Professor Matthew. You are advisor for SoftBank. Yeah, I think SoftBank is play very important role in finance market, and we do very much in AI and finance, and that is we can make a framework for that, and I hope SoftBank can join in conference at Harvard April 22 to raise voice from SoftBank about finance and how we can reform finance with AI. Yeah, so we look forward from your advice for SoftBank.
Yeah, so you're already talking with SoftBank.
And we have some not official to talk with leaders of SoftBank, but we look forward for that, and we know some people in the SoftBank.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Maybe there's someone from SoftBank group could join. That would be great. But I'm serving as the outside board director, so my mission is to to oversight that everything is going on well, and especially the checking the conflict of interest, so but as you said, SoftBank is playing a very important role in the AI landscape in the world, and I think it's very they're very brave because they try to make a vast amount of investment in the U.S. economy, and I think the many Japanese companies can do the similar things. They have a lot of money inside, and also that they have the a large amount of revenue budget and capability. So I want to encourage many large Japanese companies to.
Thank you so much. Maybe have a question?
Yes, I would like to ask former Minister Audrey-Tang. Japan and Taiwan is under the pressure of China, and especially in the cyberspace, they provide a lot of disinformation, fake news, and deepfake kind of stuff. And I think Taiwan has all after the conclusion of the election, Taiwan has already get rid of that kind of, disinformation. But Japan is not so much, I think. Maybe we can work together. Do you have any idea about this?
Yes, I would first say that we developed the countermeasures to polarization and online divisions, not by censorship. So Taiwan and Japan, of course, are the two most free, according to Freedom House, in terms of online rights in the digital realm. So we're not solving this by censoring, removing them. We did that by ensuring that there is the uncommon ground that can be readily discovered, despite the political differences that our people have. In factual matters, people collaborate together to find out what is actually going on. And it's not the individually checked facts that inoculates people. It is this journey of going through collective fact-checking that inoculates the people, because it is a societal resilience exercise. And indeed, your observation that Japan puts less emphasis on this kind of collaborative fact-checking is true, but I would say that is because you have a better journalism sector. You have very strong gatekeepers in terms of journalists. And so in Taiwan, anything that gets trendy gets printed as news very quickly, 24/7 also. But in Japan, the journalists do take the care to check the sources and make a clear distinction between journalistic content versus tabloid content or things that just go viral on social media. So in concrete terms, I think it is both ways. The Taiwanese model of collaborative fact-checking has spread to Thailand as COFAC.org. France also adopted as Vera, and many entrepreneurs using this language model to do collaborative sense-making and fact-checking. And so maybe that is one particular thing that Japan can learn. But Japan can also teach us in making sure that how your journalism upgrades with digital transformation, with like smart news and other curational capabilities. I'm sure our journalistic sector can also learn from Japan to stay relevant and indeed vibrant in the digital era.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Audrey. For the audiences, Jonas Kosa-san is a well-known economic commentator. So it's we have a great journalism in Japan, I guess.
I'm a YouTuber.
Maybe with a question to Joris. Joris, you mentioned a very interesting presentation about physics AI. Perhaps can you comment the potential of Japan on implementing physics AI?
Yeah, absolutely. So, AI physics technology is still in the early stages. So there's a lot of kind of proven use cases, but it's still sort of at the beginning of the S-curve of adoption. So it's a very exciting time. It's getting adopted at sort of an exponential rate, but it's early enough that I think Japan has some unique opportunities. If you look at it globally, Japan is extremely competitive in many different industrial sectors. This includes precision engineering, automotive manufacturing, semiconductor fabrication, material science, many of the core kind of engineering and physics fields. These companies that are extremely competitive globally also have, enormous amounts of data. And so that provides the combination of some of the best engineers in the world doing this, the IP, the knowledge, the know-how, and the data together provides kind of all the foundational building blocks to be really successful with AI physics technology. I think in Japan, specifically, the challenge will be, and I really enjoyed the way you presented that in your presentation related to the commercialization of these technologies. I think right now you're sort of in the starting gates for Japan to be able to really be a global leader. AI physics is still, unlike maybe LLMs, where there's already now sort of a handful of leading companies that are very difficult to compete with, and many of the resources are flowing into these companies. AI physics, unlike the LLMs, is a new category where Japan probably still has the opportunity to maybe even be #1 globally in this field. But to make that happen, we do need to kind of bring together both the technology, the AI potential, but the companies, the consortia across these manufacturing industries to together work to accelerate the adoption of these technologies and to share them and establish global leadership through that combination of the strategic advantages that Japan already has in these industries. I think that's an enormous opportunity. I know myself and Rescale are very excited to support that. We are a Silicon Valley tech company. We're headquartered in San Francisco, but we have a strong presence in Japan. And we'd love to support the Japanese economy and the opportunity to build true global leadership for AI physics in Japan.
Thank you so much, Shoris. You mentioned Mr. Professor Matsuo-san, he mentioned something about consortium. You have also a consortium about robotics. Can you briefly comment on, maybe about the potential of physics AI, not only physics AI, but also by cooperating Japanese corporations, what kind of potential can we actually unlock?
I agree with there is a huge potential for Japanese companies to integrate the AI, and Japan is strong in physics, chemical, or basic sciences, and with the combination of the AI, maybe the precision engineering, automobile industries, many sectors will have the benefit. And to realize that, maybe we have to have some kind of consortium or partnership, and maybe we have to encourage managers, the company leaders to move fast with the latest AI technologies, and we have to encourage them to reform their organization so that the innovation could be, maximized. That's maybe the challenge for Japan at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Is there any questions? Or if not, maybe I'll ask Audrey. Audrey, you mentioned great things about the philosophy of AI. Perhaps when it comes to commercialization and maybe Taiwanese companies collaborating with each other, or even cross-border collaboration, how do you see the potential in Taiwan in terms of actually connecting AI with economic growth?
Yeah, indeed, that's a great question. So in Taiwan, as with other middle powers, we have placed our bets on AI on the edge and for sector-specific usage. And so our National Development Fund is now putting together a very large investment to 150 different vertical sectors. And indeed, in each sector, one would have more than one different use cases within that specific sector, so that instead of training this, trillions of parameters or more models that can do everything, this is more about distilling exactly the kind of models that is needed on one specific part, especially around tasks that are between two machine parts. Because as I mentioned, the human-to-human conversations, the human-to-human civic muscle is the thing that we want to preserve. It's the same as the Society 5.0 vision. But if there's part of our job that involves just translating data from one machine to the other machine, humans don't gain civic muscles doing that kind of job anyway. And so agentic AI can probably automate that work without the society losing the civic resilience. And so by making sure that each vector sector can identify this kind of machine-to-machine parts within their work, they can then use AI in the edge to facilitate this kind of understanding, and with smaller model, not only more energy efficient, but exactly as you said, makes it much easier to swap those models, mix them together, to test them together. Indeed, like Sakana AI is based on this very model of Hugging Face collaboration. And so this horizontal diffusion of specific narrow models, like taking the engines of a Porsche and try to install it in various bicycles, I think that is the kind of vision that we have forward. But of course, the huge data centers that are being built around the globe, we don't oppose it because they're using Taiwanese chips anyway.
Thank you. That's super interesting. Mr. Kanehara, maybe when companies need to collaborate, I think there's a question rising about national security and actually sharing data privacy. In a broader context of national security, do you see any threats, challenges around like cross-border collaboration of really bringing the maximum potential of AI?
Companies can cooperate if they has the efficiency of the communications. That's good. The government's job is to guarantee the security of this system, and I have to say for that purpose, the government must pay a huge amount of money. Banks are paying huge amount of money, but not many companies doing that in Japan. Our system is very, very weak. Government is very, very weak. We are ashamed of that. It's national shame. Now we have to start to make a robust cyber security system. The new law is coming in, and Ishiba-san, it must be ready before summer. It's not very strong law, but we have to catch up with the Americans, Taiwanese, and the Europeans, and Chinese and Russians.
Thank you so much. You mentioned something about the government. Maybe Nakayama-san, maybe you could comment. What do you think about the strength of the government in terms of the AI field? Mr. Kanehara mentioned, we are very, very weak, but we actually want to make it very, very strong. Love to hear your comments on that.
Yes, Kanehara-san is right. Unfortunately, Kanehara-san's talk too much secret of the country. I'm currently now one of the executive board of FFRI, which is a cybersecurity company, 100% made in Japan. So security software producer. And we have a lab in Yokosuka with Ministry of Defense. So we are currently doing a lot of things. But on the other hand, I am also a first visitor to US Cyber Command. I'm really man on the moon when I went to Fort Meade Base in the United States. That record is still inside of the homepage of the US Cyber Command. So I belong to a team of investment fund especially for the deep tech, belong to Israel, collaborate with the Israeli government. So we collaborate with 8200, which we call Amman, and also Mossad, Shabak, all the intelligence team. So I know the difference between the very strong guys and also weak country of our loving nation. So that's why I mentioned at the beginning on my speech. Right now, we cannot immediately install something 100 made in Japan into our government AI or cybersecurity system. On the other hand, we can buy or really become a stakeholder of the very great cybersecurity from Israel, especially, or the US technology collaboration. So why not? We are a rich country still. So why not we investment or buy like a GAFA? We had the Kokutetsu, which now converted to JR. We have NTT, used to be a national company of the telecommunications. Why not we build up the national cybersecurity company, 100% government owned? And later, why don't we, open stock to investors, to shareholders? We need that kind of, the aggressive investment as a country. We have a very good cartoon fund, but and also I'm sorry to Meti animation fund or something like that, Cool Japan fund. We have a lot of fund, but fund spirit is different. My fund is fund do. But the government fund is always FUND, end. We have to action.
Exactly.
Yeah, we need not just think, but action. So, and this conference today is how you make action yourself and think about how to do. We need a think tank like us, but we need a do tank too. So I'm shame I'm losing my seat from the parliament now, but Thank you. Current our Prime Minister's name, when I translate to English, his name is Stonebreaker. Ishiba. Ishi means stone, ba means break. But I don't think that he's got enough power to break stone now. So maybe we need to think and change and do action, especially from regarding from the cyberspace. And I think we have a capability to watch carefully inside of China and North Korea. But on the other hand, they already inside of us, in body of the country, I guess. So we need a quickly, and also the anti-terror action. We are very good at the cuisine sushi, raw fish, raw beef. We can cuisine very good, quick cook. Otherwise, your stomach will, stomach ache. So that means terror is kind of like a sushi fish. We have to quick action, collecting information, sharing information, and then produce the good main dish.
Definitely.
So I'm sorry, my English skill is not so good.
No.
So I learned from Eddie Murphy movie, not from Harvard Business School. But you can feel my words and political vibration from my brain. So please cooperate my idea, and let's do action for the AIWS age. Yeah. So thank you.
That's a great segue. I think you mentioned about really the importance of company creation, really, and also we need a really strong leader to really kind of set the vision and also really identify the opportunities. Once you set that, as you mentioned, really get sushi making, Japanese people will really work hard towards that direction. I feel that the direction is not present today. Maybe we have two directors from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and METI. Would you like to say a word in terms of the national policy from the AI and maybe the innovation standpoint?
So, yeah, my name is Mitsuhiro Nishida. I'm from METI, and I'm in charge of industrial policy, especially focused on green transformation (GX). And I feel a strong potential of Japanese industries, but at the same time, I'm facing a big challenge. It's a kind of illness of a big company. Japanese big company has strong potential, but they are almost all of the Japanese big companies are slow and unresponsive. So I try to promote acceptable AI into the big manufacturing companies, but all of them hesitate to accept a new technology like an AI. So one company said it's after 2040 when my company accepts the AI in my manufacturing process. After 2040, I'm surprised. So that's a typical case. So I have a $130 billion for GX funding. So I try to use this money to change the Japanese company's behavior, but it's very, very difficult. If anybody have a good advice for me, please give me. So I think, as Nagama-san says, make action is very important. So, but I think there is no time to waiting, but still, there is a big challenge. So somebody please give me advice for changing the Japanese big companies.
Definitely, I think there's
Thank
a lot
you.
of
So now we try to make a collaboration with Chiba-san or Joyce. Yeah. So
thank you so much. Mr. Hando, would you like to say a word maybe from the diplomatic side or international relations?
I'm very unsure if diplomat is a good people to talk about advanced technology, including AI. Of course, Professor Kanekawa is a former diplomat, but he is exceptional. He is a real intellectual giant. But from my very limited experience, I would like to add a small aspect, another aspect of the resilience of society or the international community. I'm currently in charge of the SDGs, UN Sustainable Development Goals, and one of the most elemental three philosophy of SDGs is no one left behind. But unfortunately today, I'm concerned more and more widespread feeling or fears about left behind.
Yes.
Not only international community, but also in some developed countries. And such kind of feeling left behind probably cause some tectonic changes in American politics or the current fundamental attack towards the international system, international order based on rule of law. So it is highly important to address the feeling of left behind. And AI has strong potential. Of course, it has another aspect of risk, but it has strong potential to address such challenges. And many people talking about the same philosophy, like someone said, everyone like better future. Someone said trust to the government. So I'm really encouraged by the discussion today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
But finally, the title is 24/7 government. This is old working ethics. So I was afraid maybe out be a person of the government, but today's discussion encouraged us. We have many things to do together. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Maybe a final word from Eguchi-san. Would you like to? Yes. So Eguchi-san is a board of Santry. He used to work at Mitsubishi Corporation. He's a renowned person in terms of U.S.-Japan relationship and national security. So please.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm not sure whether anybody would be able to answer this question, but from a non-expert on AI, I'm hearing news that, for instance, if you ask DeepSeek from China how to create nuclear warhead, they would answer it. And on the Western developed AI, this, of course, would not happen. So my hunch as a non-expert is we have to have at least some sort of regulation that goes cross borders, including China, India, and everybody else. But I'm not sure whether that could happen in this given situation. And another concern that I have is what is the impact of the split between not US and China, but US and Europe would impact on having this regulation. I'm not sure if anybody would is able to answer that. If anybody could give me some sort of the thinking, that will be very helpful.
Yeah.
I have an idea for you.
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Boston Global Forum, we know about that very dangerous situation. And we have ideas that is a knowledge platform for AI because we need that very, very good and reliable knowledge platform to develop everything for AI that cannot violate, cannot change the history, something like that. And for example, in China, you can see if you accept, you can DeepSeek, you can see about China shares that is South China Sea and East China Sea. They will answer with their terrible that incorrect in history. So why not Japan and the US and some democratic government should invest for this platform because very important in the future that is education in the school in university will very reduced by the ChatGPT. They ask question, they ask knowledge. So from education from that is education system. So I think now we need education system that is the knowledge platform for that. So I think that in AI WS government 24/7, we also mentioned about that, and we hope Japan is I always respect Japan with ethics and kindness, people and culture, and now Japan very important role to contribute to make knowledge platform the world. Yeah, that's my idea for question and job issue. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So with that, I think we're about time. So I think next we will have the handover or actually declaration of the new MOU announcement of the government 24/7. So Quinn Nam, the Director of the Community Development of Boston Global Forum, would you like to question more?
So on behalf of the Boston Global Forum, today I'll present to you the Tokyo Accord for Government 24/7 AI and Finance Platforms, adopted at the 4th Shinzo Abe Conference, Tokyo, March 2025. We, the participants of the 4th Shinzo Abe Conference, gathered in Tokyo on March 28, 2025, to honor the legacy of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, a visionary leader who strengthened Japan and advanced global peace and security, recognize the urgent need to transform governance and financial systems in an era of rapid technological change, inspired by his commitment to innovation, stability, and service to humanity. We hereby establish the Tokyo Accord for Government 24/7 AI and Finance Platforms. This accord is a bold step toward realizing AI World Society vision, with the AIWS Government 24/7 as its cornerstones, ensuring that governments and financial systems serve citizens continuously, ethically, and effectively. Here are the principles of this Tokyo Accord. First, continuous governance. We commit to developing AIWS Government 24/7, a framework that harnesses AI, digital tools, and quantum computing to provide governance that is accessible, transparent, and responsive 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This ensures that governments meet the needs of citizens in real time, fostering trust and resilience. Secondly, finance as a force for good. We pledge to construct AI-driven finance platforms that innovate and reform financial systems, integrating them with Government 24/7. These platforms will leverage AI, digital technologies, and quantum computing to enhance efficiency, ensure economic resilience, and promote ethical advancement for the benefit of all. Thirdly, humanity at the core. The deployment of AI and finance platforms must prioritize human well-being, equity, and inclusion, reflecting the humane leadership exemplified by Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. These systems will empower citizens, reduce disparities, and strengthen societal bonds. Fourth, global leadership through collaboration. Building on Japan's legacy of contributing to the world peace and security, we aim to position Japan as a leader in ethical AI and economic progress. This accord fosters collaboration between nations, particularly strengthening ties between Japan and the United States to share knowledge, resources, and innovations. Finally, innovation and stability. We honor Shinzo Abe's vision by balancing cutting-edge technology with stability. The integration of AI and finance platforms into governance will drive progress while safeguarding the security and prosperity of our societies. And we do have more commitments to the Tokyo Accord, the implementation of AIWS Government 24/7. We will work to adopt and refine AIWS Government 24/7 to ensure that it becomes a model for continuous citizen-centered governance worldwide. This includes pilot programs, policy frameworks, and technological infrastructure to support its realization. Secondly, the development of finance platforms. We commit to establish AI and quantum-powered finance platforms that integrate with the Government 24/7, reforming financial systems to be more efficient, resilient, and equitable. These platforms will be designed to support economic growth and ethical investment. Dialogue and action. We commit to ongoing discussions beginning today at the 4th Shinzo Abe Conference under the theme Government 24/7 to refine and advance this vision. We will engage government leaders, business innovators, scholars, and students to build a global coalition. And finally, tribute to Shinzo Abe, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. We dedicate this accord to the late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, whose leadership inspires us to create stronger, more effective, and more humane systems. Japan will lead by example, amplifying its role in shaping a peaceful and prosperous world. We invite all nations, organizations, individuals to join us in this historic endeavor. To let us act with purpose and unity to make this vision a reality. So signed in Tokyo, Japan on this day, 28th of March, 2025. Thank you.
Okay, so with that, so I think there's the conclusion from the chair, please.
Yes, I prepare one very official concluding remark by three person already by text, but I will read more, and we will be official publication for our document. So first, we are very honored to thank our distinguished speakers, participants, and our dear friends in Japan, and our people in online. And special, I hear all the time from UK now. She is in UK, and that is a very late night. So and early morning. So thank you very much, Audrey, for great contribution, great mind and thought. And all our speaker, also online speakers, very, I think, remarkable. And today we have historical moment with Tokyo Accord, and that is the make Japan lead with finance, ethics, and AI ethics, and that is the honor Prime Minister Shinzo Abe legacy. And also we have Abe, we have Abe Financial AI Protocol, yeah, and with that is a very important protocol in finance. We will work together as Nakayama talked about, not only talk and think. Today, that is we doing. Now we need to think action, and from this conference, that we start for action to make our ideas, our discussion great initiative already from today realize and happen, and we bring all our spirit and our outcome, our knowledge, our brand today to Harvard on April 22 special conference. We hope all of us will join Harvard BCF Harvard conference, maybe in person or online. And for my last thank for my dear friend Nobimita. She is a great work for conference today, and not only for conference today, she is a great contribution work for Boston Global Forum from 2013 so far, and now with a role as a special assistant to chairman. And from my heart, thank Nobimita for your great work. And also, I would like to say thank very much Nakayama, representative of Boston Global Forum in Japan and Taiwan, and he helped me make our goal, our work from Governor Michael Dukakis asked me to do in his remark that we have to meet, discuss with leaders in Japan, and distinguished leaders, distinguished scholar, outstanding student, and make better and deeper relation between Japan and the US, and special in this time, very important time. The war is a very important moment for politics, for society, and for peace and security, for everything. So this trip, my trip, successful by Nakayama. Thank you so much, my dear friend. And we look forward, great work ahead from this conference, Shinzo Abe initiative, and we will, Nakayama will work with you for many things, but he said already that we will organize a conference and initiative and make that is not only conference talk and discuss, that is a conference for action. And I hope, and it's cherry blossom, very special cherry blossom for the Japan, for Japan fly with a new role and with deserve with Japan in the world, role and position of Japan in the world. They have and now continue play more important role in the world now. Need kindness, need ethics, need tolerance, need humble, need great culture. And I will continue to support and work for Japan, Boston, and Tokyo, and Shinzo Abe initiative happen and better for Japan. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. See you next one, Padam.
Thank you very much, Chairman. So I think that's the conclusion of the AI Action Summit, the fourth Shinzo Abe Conference. Thank you very much for all of you.